With the announcement of the new Ravenloft book, I've been thinking about all the different monsters and creatures that live there, and the Skulk fits right into that category. Welcome to the Blue Dragon Guild, a channel all about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Baron. Like several of the monsters that we discuss on this channel, the Skulk is one of those that I have overlooked, and I think maybe a lot of DMs overlook. Most of the time when we are preparing for an encounter, we're simply looking at CR or creature type, and if it doesn't quite fit what we need, we gloss over it. And I know the Skulk is one of those that I've definitely glossed over before. And you know, to some extent that makes sense. You want your encounters to make sense with the environment, you want the monsters to make sense with the story, so on and so forth. But after reading the backstory portion of the Skulk, it makes me realize that I really need to pay attention to that and start implementing that into my stories. The Skulk are the soulless shells of wanderers lost in the Shadowfell. They're permanently invisible. They can only be seen by children, special candles, or a mirror. They can also be summoned servants of evil people, and the Skulk are often used to kill somebody. Whenever they're summoned, whenever they're encountered, they basically just have a bloodlust and they want to kill everything. Whenever the Skulks are summoned, they cannot return to the Shadowfell, so oftentimes they throw themselves right into harm's way just so they can return to the Shadowfell. Sometimes when a Skulk kills a person in the material plane, they take up a silent imitation of that person's life. According to the background, sometimes in extreme cases, the Skulk will kill an entire town, leaving it as a ghost town where ghostly food is prepared every day, livestock is shifted around until they starve, and I can already think of some really fun ways that you could use that in a game, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, what are the stats of the Skulk? The Skulk are a CR half, so they're not going to be anything too wild, but at a lower level, I can really see this being a tough monster to fight, especially since they are invisible without those other means of being seen. They're immune to radiant damage, which is pretty fun. So that's one of the main sources of damage coming from clerics. So I can see where this would trip a lot of clerics up. You know, mostly they're thinking, oh, it's an undead, we're gonna use some radiant damage and take it out. Not this guy. In their stat block, they have fallible invisibility. The Skulk is invisible. The invisibility can be circumvented by 3 things. If seen in a mirror, the Skulk appears as a smooth-skinned, just drab humanoid. If you have one of the special candles shining, the Skulk appears as a dim, translucent form in the light of this candle, and the candle has to be made from the rendered fat of a corpse who is never identified. So, a little morbid, but if that's the theme that you're going for, especially if you're in the Shadowfell or Ravenloft, it's definitely doable. And also, they can be seen by children. Humanoid children ages 10 and under can see the Skulk. The Skulk also has the ability Trackless, which basically means it leaves no indication of where it's been or where it is going. And then we get to the juicy stuff. They get a claw attack. It deals 1d4 plus 4 slashing damage. So not too heavy on the damage from the Skulk, but that invisibility is what is really going to get the party a little tripped up. So how would we use the Skulk in a game? I think the Skulk would be perfect for a mystery-themed campaign or even just a mystery-themed encounter. The party blows into town, they're having a good time, and they start hearing all these rumors about these kids seeing these weird formless shapes coming into their room at night, walking through the town. And once the party does a little bit of investigating, they learn that all of these kids seeing these spirits only happen after they visit this haunted mansion that's been abandoned for years. So right there's gonna be the big hook. The party's most likely gonna beeline it straight for the mansion. Once the party's reached the mansion, there's a bunch of different avenues you can go. My mind goes to they discover some undead Orcus worshipping cult that's trying to take over the town. They have a nice big showdown with the cultists and with the Skulks that the cultists have summoned. Maybe through their adventures they found some of those candles. Maybe they've got some mirrors. There's a bunch of different ways that you can have that play out. And I definitely think the Skulk is a fun monster to use in this kind of manner, especially if you're gearing up to go to Ravenloft. Especially with the new book coming out, there's going to be a lot of different things, all the different domains of dread. I'm sure there's one that you can tie in easily to this kind of cultist, weird, Skulk, invisible predator thing. With all of that said, the Skulk is a fun monster that you can throw at a low-level party. They're not going to do too much damage, but they're going to be enough of an annoyance that your party is not going to enjoy fighting them. So let's take it down to the comments below. Let us know what you think about the Skulk. Do you think they're a great monster? Do you think they're a bad monster? We'd love to hear it. So if you want to see some more D&D content, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see some videos about some more monsters, check it out right here. And until next time, keep the dice rolling.